Hi sweeties, it's me, it's Nikki Nicole, and in this video I'm going to give you some tips and insights into how I personally put a look together. Now this video is simply around the questions I ask myself and my general thought process when I'm putting a look together. There are a lot of bigger subjects in here that I'm going to gloss over a little bit, but I'm only going to look over at them in terms of how they relate to how I put together an entire outfit. So without beating around a bush, here it is. So the first thing, and often where basically everything comes from, is a theme or an inspiration or an idea. It could be a tiny little seed of an idea. It could be the entire idea for an outfit might pop right into your head. But a theme can be anything from like a general thing, like a really general thing, like a summer themed outfit, or like I want to do a princess themed outfit, or a classy outfit, or a trashy outfit, or even just thinking about the color orange, something like that. Just a seed, a nugget where you can start and where you can grow this idea from. Ideas can also be very specific and fully formed, like a specific cosplay or a need to build around like a certain item. Often my ideas come from things I've saved in wish lists. So use your wish lists, put anything that remotely interests you or you think you might need to use later, put them right on your wish list. They're vital for inspiration. They can speed everything up. Also, keep a list somewhere of looks you'd like to try. I can't tell you how many times I've tried thinking of a new look and I've already thought of one ages ago and I just can't remember that I did it already. Also, another good way to build up inspiration for ideas for outfits is to keep a folder of reference photos of your style icons, things like that. Look at what makes them appeal to you, imitate them, maybe copy like a hairstyle or even just a hair color, imitate take one piece of clothing that we're wearing and build an outfit around that kind of thing. Personally, when an idea is starting to sort of germinate in my head, I have a feeling that I want to replicate. It's very hard to explain. I can look at things and just say, okay, that doesn't fit, that fits, that fits. This idea and this feeling does evolve over time, and sometimes looks turn into completely different things. But I always check the things I'm looking at against how I'm feeling about it. So now you've thought of your theme and you've thought of a couple of little, things that you want to maybe put into your look. We're going to start thinking about the style and colours. So what kind of images does this theme conjure up? So a summer theme might mean like a flowy summer dress or the colour yellow, that kind of thing. What other kind of colours fit the theme or match the colours of the pieces you've already picked? My rule of thumb is to usually to pick two colours that complement each other and build basically the whole outfit around that. Pairing a colour with white or black is usually simple and effective. And if you don't feel you have an eye for colours that match or contrast correctly, then you can look up like a colour wheel online for inspiration. Just Google colour wheel or colours that match each other, that sort of thing, and you'll probably find a million diagrams that can show you what kind of thing will clash with what and what kind of thing will go with what. Like I say, I prefer to keep things to two colours with maybe like an extra twist in your nails or like lips or accessories, as I feel like my preferred style is this colourful, cartoonish and simple and over-the-top feminine thing, so I tend to not get too complicated with that. And follow your fantasies. Developing your own style is an extension of your personality. Personally, I don't ever do any looks for anyone else. I don't put looks together for the pleasure of other people, as much as it might look like it. I'm always just following how I want to express myself, what I want to see, what I want to get photos of, how I want to see myself. And now we're going to start thinking about complementing your shape or sort of emphasizing or creating a feminine shape. So there's a lot of online resources about choosing the right clothes and cut for different body types, so I'll just take you through my own thought process with that. Patterns can be slimming. I tend to avoid horizontal or vertical stripes unless you want to really pick out like a feature. So say a stripy horizontal skirt might pick out your hips really well. Those sorts of patterns draw the eye to them and also create more lines around what's going on. Now I tend to avoid bodycon dresses and very, very tight fitting stuff, strangely, unless I'm going to be figure shaping. I feel like my hips are very straight, maybe a little paunch in my belly, that kind of thing. So bodycon dresses can really pick that kind of thing out. So you want to sort of avoid really form-fitting stuff unless you have a very girlish figure or can make it. I feel like my shoulders like are fairly broad. I feel like I've got pretty fatty shoulders, so I usually try to break them up with a neckline or hair, like hair around here. So if I take my hair away, I feel like I've got quite round, quite bullish, fatty shoulders and biceps. So I tend to try and break it up, make it a bit flowy, cut it across with with hair, or necklines, that kind of thing. Bolero shrug cardis, very good things, especially a black one, great for playing down the shoulders and arms. I've used that a lot in the past, especially when I go out. I tend to try and like hide my shoulders when I'm going out, so a black bolero shrug, very good. Also like loose sleeves, like flowy sleeves, like tend to break up shoulders as well. I don't do that so much. I avoid cap sleeves, that kind of thing, because that tends to pick out your shoulders if you've got big shoulders like me. I wouldn't say I've got super broad shoulders, but for me, it's just something that always catches my eye when I'm looking at myself, unfortunately. And like I said before, I feel like my hips and my midriff are quite straight, typical for a male. So there's not much curve or lines there. So I try to make different lines and curves with something like a pleated or a flared skirt, a nice rockabilly dress, very great tool. I love them. Or using a corset and hip pads with like tight leggings to create brand new lines. Get yourself a pair of hip pads, proper silicone hip pads, and you will love them. Also, buy yourself a little stealth corset. I would get mine out, but it's in your room. You can get like a little stealth corset that doesn't have any ribbing on the outside, so you can use that plus leggings to give yourself feminine hips. I rarely show my waist as is, but I like my bum, so I seek to just accentuate my hips to give a more feminine shape, and maybe sometimes if I have to, I'll probably corset with it if I've got a dress that can cover it up. Also, and this is quite a typical problem for people that might have very broad shoulders, avoid putting in really big boobs unless you're playing down those shoulders. So really big boobs will just sort of emphasize the triangle, sort of typically male sort of triangle shaped torso. Yeah, definitely avoid those unless you're sort of doing something with the shoulders as well. I think most of the time you're going to see that if I have my big boobs in, I've actually got my shoulders covered by my hair, or that kind of thing. Lots and lots of smoke and mirrors. Now, everyone's body is different, so have fun experimenting and ask people's opinions. Do get people's opinions. In the end, you should wear what you want to wear. By no means am I saying these are all no-nos. You can go out and look any way you want. It's all about expressing yourself as an individual, and this is just what typically works for me, and things that I tend to see in other cross-dressers. Shoes. Now, shoes are an interesting one for me. I feel like I'm the only girl in the world that doesn't care about shoes. Now, I will try and pair shoes with an outfit, but my MO has generally been to have a nice white pair of heels and a nice black pair of heels, and maybe some brown knee-high boots, and just try and get some general purpose shoes in that you can match a colour with. Neutral colours like a cream or or blacks usually work. It's really up to you. Shoes is another feel thing. It's another feel thing. Sometimes you'll see a pair of shoes that you like, that you go, oh great, okay, I need the perfect shoes for these outfit to complete it. Sometimes you'll go, oh well, shoes aren't the focus of the outfit, and you can use them as like a tool again with your matching your colours. Usually your shoes will be one of the colours in the outfit. So with this, like, I would wear like a nice pair of cream shoes or white shoes, since I've got white on my belt. Or it could be, pink, cute pink heels, since this tends to be this is like a very, very pink outfit. I mean, there's not much of a second colour in here apart from maybe the white around my waist and the red in my lips. Shoes, yeah, like, have one pair of white heels that you like, have one pair of black heels that you like, and for any other outfits that you feel like need more shoes, that need another pair of shoes, try and buy stuff that's still neutral, so you can then use that with other looks down the line. Shoes often become the most expensive part of any outfit, so I am absolutely loath to like buy a new pair of shoes. It's terrible. Like I say, I feel like the only girl in the world who doesn't go gaga over a pair of shoes, but that's just me. You know, you're not going to wear a nice pair of like flower pattern Mary Janes with like a really trashy, slutty look, and you're not going to wear a pair of thigh-high PVC boots with a nice summer dress, unless you're going for like an intentional subversion. That happens a lot with drag, or like a massive contrast. Then that's fine. But like I say, it ties in explicitly with how things feel. By the way, just remember that platform heels are amazing for your legs. I really, really like 1-inch platforms. I love them so much. I love the way they make my legs look. Hair. Buy some wigs. That's probably going to be in another like tips video down the line, but here I'll just say a couple of things. Try out different colours. Buy a blonde lace front wig, buy a brunette lace front wig, and buy a red lace front wig. Everyone works best with a certain hair colour. Start with your own hair colour, because that's probably how your colouring is gonna match best, obviously. And everyone works best with a certain hair colour. It may not be your natural one. Do start with your natural one. Each outfit works best with a certain hair colour. It's all about experimenting what you like and who you are, and having a selection of colours means you can experiment and mess around. If you're not going to buy lace fronts, Google yourself a guide on how to match bangs to your face shape and move on from there. Really, the best advice I can give without going into detail is to experiment, as hair will take up another entire video anyway. Accessorize. Accessories are very important. They can add flair or they can help tie the whole look together. For instance, a hair accessory like an Alice band or a hair clip can help a look feel complete when it matches your bracelet or your necklace or earrings. They can also add contrast or just completely be the second colour you choose to feature. Like here, everything is basically pink, and the only like contrasting colour I have in here is the white belt, really. And it's just a little extra. Like if I wouldn't want to do this look without the white belt. It's almost too pink, it's almost too much. You just want to offset it a little bit with something that complements. You can choose intricate or patterned accessories to complement a simple block colour look, sort of like I've done here. Like we have lots of jewels and you know, a ring and that kind of thing to sort of jazz this up. Or you can use plain accessories to balance out a patterned one. Now, if you're going for gold or silver, choose one and stick with it. You don't really see people mixing gold and silver. It just doesn't really work that well. I usually prefer silver over gold in almost every case, but say if I'm wearing red, I'm more likely to pick gold. I don't know what it is about red. It's always gold for red and silver for almost everything else. Again, go with your gut in this one. Silver's usually the right answer. So just like the shoes, buy yourself a bunch of general accessories. When you're mixing and matching for an outfit, sometimes it's going to strike you exactly the kind of thing you want, but it's much better just to have a drawer full of stuff that you can just mess through and just have something that you can just throw on with the look, and at least try things out and see how they do look. So taking earrings, for example, you would buy like a nice pair of hoops for a trashy look, and a nice few pairs of drops or studs for like classy or pretty looks. It's like I said, it's pretty nice to just have a bunch of stuff ready, and often I find the perfect things I already have. Makeup. Again, makeup is its own massive, very wide-ranging subject, so I'll stick to the questions I ask myself when I'm building an outfit. Go back to the theme. Are we doing a trashy look? Amp up the makeup. Are there opportunities to match the colour of your eyeshadow or lips to nails or clothes? Again, going to this outfit, because there's so much pink, I've actually picked out my lips in red just to really push that look out, prevent it from being too pretty or too like innocent. There's always a little bit of red in the pink. Another question I ask myself is, how big is the hair going to be? You'd be surprised. If you have big hair, you can get away with bigger makeup. If you have flat hair like this, I don't think I'd be able to get away with like really strong contouring or, you know, outline lips like I might do for like a more trashy look. You'll find that your face, the way you beat your face, depends on how you do your hair, you know. So there it is. It's a little bit rambling and it's a little bit, I don't know, you've probably got a million questions to ask me. Please feel free to cast them in the comments below. But that's it. That's pretty much all the things I think about when I'm putting a look together. I hope that gives a little insight into how I develop things. And as always, this is all about finding yourself as an individual and how you want to express yourself and how you want to find that persona that you want to express to the rest of the world. So experiment, find out what feels wrong and what feels right. If it feels right, do it. If it feels wrong, don't. But always listen to yourself. This video is made possible because of all my wonderful supporters on Patreon, link below. On my Patreon you can see early sneak peeks of all the looks that I'm going to be coming out with, plus full high-res photo sets, voting on the next thing that I'm going to release, and also little bonus videos of behind the scenes and various little bits and pieces that you won't see on YouTube. Special thanks go out to Happily Anonymous, Aura, Martin Mueller, David Fairbairn and Jake Allen. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, I hope this helps, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye now.